We gather here to pay tribute to Augustine because we know of his life passing. But actually, his whole life is far more than his death. His whole life is a life that we know very little about in this community, and yet has sanctity inherent to its existence because every one of us has holiness. Every one of us has sanctity. So, with all the beauty that we've created here to remember Augustine, we know that it is only a fraction of the real homage that needs to go to this man whose life was informed by beautiful people, by family, by relatives, by friends, by so many people who were informed by his life. Before I give a final closing prayer, I just would like to also take note of the fact that, as we heard at the very beginning of this special vigil, that there is a farm worker who is in a coma. We don't know his name. We know that it's a male, but we know very little more than that. But as a community gathered in prayer, I'd like to offer an additional prayer on his behalf for his healing. And I'll do it in my tradition's language of Hebrew. Mi sheberach avotenu, Makor habracha imotenu, ha'aleh refuah shlema l'chol hacholim hamakotenu, v'ten chazaka v'koach l'mishpachotam, havienu l'tzedek, v'aseh otanu hayom bimhera v'yameinu. Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors, may the source of blessing lift up healing, complete healing to all those who are ill and all those who are struggling, who are suffering, and give strength to them, and give strength and give courage to their families, and bring all of us to a place of justice, and do this immediately in our time. And we say, Amen. So now we gather for prayer. Perhaps we can come a little bit closer together. Oh God, today we gather in the heat of a midday, and yet we know ironically that the heat that we experience here is an ephemeral experience of hardship on us, and we know that our brothers and sisters in the fields throughout this state are experiencing this on a daily basis. The irony of us gathering here, feeling the struggle of the heat, should embolden us and give us the strength to recognize what your children experience daily in the fields. We gather here to lift up Augustine Vigil. We lift him up as the very image of God, as our tradition teaches. Today we remember him among 15 images of God, people who are created in your image, who have died needlessly because of the coldness and the greediness and the harshness of a workplace that is unfair, that does not account for justice. And our tradition, the Jewish tradition, as well as the Muslim tradition, teaches in our sacred writings that one who destroys a single life destroys an entire world. We gather here to recognize that 15 worlds have been annihilated. And yet we also have in our traditions the notion that one who saves a single life saves an entire world. O God, empower us to save lives. Empower us to save the world through our saving of these lives. And turn the hearts of those frozen by apathy into a commitment to sympathy. Turn their hearts, the hearts of those who employ workers, those who are a part of our world community of consumers. Turn the hearts of us even more strongly to a place of healing and to a place of saving and to a place of empowerment, so that all will be saved from our own tendency toward hurting one another. May we see a day when justice will prevail, when God's rule is ubiquitous, and in fact, we see in one another the Holy One, blessed be God. And we say together, Amen.
If the farm workers were a nation, their national anthem would be De Colores. And David Farley is going to lead us. And I invite you to sing along. It's underneath Agustine's song in the back of your program. So sing along.